Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be my 31-week pregnancy update. I mentioned in my 29 and 30 week update that I might start doing weekly ones just because with this being a twin pregnancy, you know, they could come a little early. Just figured it might be fun to start doing these weekly, keep you guys, you know, in the loop of what's going on, and plus for me to look back on just these last, you know, hopefully 6-7 weeks of pregnancy, just to kind of remember everything. Okay, so let's see. Last Saturday I went, now normally Saturdays are my days that I run errands. So usually my husband takes the kids and does something kind of fun with them so he can spend time with them. And then I run errands. And for me right now, that looks like grabbing things for the nursery and just, you know, last minute things that I need to get done. Well, I tried to do that on Saturday and it did not go well. Went to Hobby Lobby to get stuff for their nursery. And I mean, I could hardly walk through the store. Like, I kept leaning on the buggy and then standing up and leaning on the buggy because I just kept having contractions. And I was like, crap. It was really, really difficult and really, really painful to walk through Hobby Lobby. And at one point I finally just had to, I was wearing a dress and I had to just sit down on the floor in the dress because I was like, if I don't sit down, I'm afraid I'm gonna go into labor, like for real skis. So I sat down and this woman comes around the corner. She's like, are you okay? Because, you know, you see a pregnant lady sitting on the floor in the middle of a store and you're gonna question. I was like, I'm fine, I just need to rest a minute. And she's like, okay. It was pretty funny, but at the same time embarrassing. And then I went to the bathroom and like thought maybe I just need to go to the bathroom, because if I even have like 2 tablespoons of pee in my bladder, it gives me contractions. Like, I don't know what it is, but I get Braxton Hicks contractions, which are not like real cervical changing contractions. But yeah, so like I constantly have to pee just to keep myself from having a full or semi-full bladder. Anyways, I had to leave the store. I got what I needed, but then I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish my errands. And I went next door to Marshall's, see if I could get what I needed in there. And I walked in and the line to check out was like wrapped like a snake. I mean, like 6 times, and then like all the way to one back end of the store. And I mean, I literally walked in there and just went, nope, not gonna happen, because there is nothing in this store that I'm going to be able to stand in that line for. Like, I knew there was no way. I was feeling a little defeated, a little discouraged. So right next door to Marshall's was a nail salon, and I've been wanting to get a pedicure. So I went over there, got a pedicure, and got my nails done. And it was a new salon that I'd never been to, and oh my gosh. And the girl who did my feet, I think she just felt sorry for me, because I must have just looked like swollen and miserable. She just felt sorry for me. She rubbed the crap out of my legs and feet. It felt amazing. And normally I do not like rough massages. That, like, I don't like that. But she used like exfoliator. Like, I really think she ripped like at least 3 layers off my skin, and it felt amazing. It's so weird because normally I do not like that kind of like really rough and deep massage, especially on my legs and feet. They're just really sensitive, but it felt so good. I had my nails done and everything, and then I tried to go to Lowe's. I was like, okay, I've relaxed. I've, you know, had water. They gave me a bottle of water and I really relaxed, and I tried to go to Lowe's and I just couldn't. Like, as soon as I tried to get out of the car and start walking around again, I just started having a ton of contractions. So I just had to come home. And I called my husband. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't take care of my stuff. Like, it's just, I felt really bad because I'm at the point now where I kind of just feel useless. Like, there's just not much that I can do. And it was just a little discouraging to feel like, okay, this is like normally the one thing that I do is run errands, and I can't even do that. I think my days of Saturday errand running are coming to a close, which is fine. My sweet husband was not upset. He was like, I will go tomorrow and get the stuff we need, and it was fine. So then this week I also had a doctor's appointment. That doctor's appointment and everything was fine. I mean, I'm still swelling and I'm still having pain in my joints, like in my hands, which the doctor kind of like, I don't know, I think unnecessarily brought something up that I basically just asked him, like, the pain that I'm having in my hands, is that normal? I was expecting him to say yes, because you know, when you go to the doctor and you say, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on, when you're pregnant, they pretty much just tell you, that's normal, that's normal. I mean, that's always their answer. But I said, you know, I've been having this pain in my hands, in the joints, in my fingers. Is that normal? And he was like, no. I was like, what do you mean no? You guys always say yes. What do you mean no? And he's like, no, that's not normal. And then he was like, you know, do you have a history of rheumatoid arthritis in your family? And I was like, I don't think so. You know, anyways, he kind of freaked me out. I called my mom when I left, and she was like, no, nobody in our family's had rheumatoid arthritis. Basically, he said, long story short, that sometimes when you are pregnant, it can make things flare up. Like, so if you have an autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, it can flare up in pregnancy and you wouldn't have known that you had it prior. So basically what he said was, after the girls are born, if the pain in my hands gets worse, then we know that that's obviously related to that. I still think, or then obviously we would need to look into it further, because it could potentially be rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not a fear monger typically type person, so I just kind of am like, I still just think it's because my hands are so swollen all the time, and also all the extra weight that I have on me. Like when I push myself up, I mean, I have to like push myself up off chairs, up off the couch, up out of bed. It's not like I can use my ab muscles to get up, so I'm constantly using my hands to push myself, and there's a lot more weight to move. So I just think my hands are just sore and achy. But as far as anything else at that doctor's appointment, he weighed me. I was up another couple pounds. At this point, I think I'm up about 40 pounds. I think, because see, what I weigh at home on my scale is different than what I weigh there. The practice of doctors I see have 3 or 4 different offices, and because I have to go so frequently and people are on summer vacation and like all that kind of stuff, I've had to go to different offices, so the scales at the offices are different too. So anyways, I think based on what I have on my scale here at home, I think I'm up somewhere between 38 and 40 pounds. He did measure my fundal height, but he didn't tell me what it was, and I didn't ask. We were talking about something else when he did it, and I didn't ask, so I'm not sure. I will let you know next week, but probably I'm still guessing I'm probably measuring, you know, 37, 38 weeks, which is what I was. It was 37 last time, so I'm guessing probably 37, 38. Okay, so the good news, which I'm not letting myself get super excited about yet, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But when they listened to the baby's heartbeats, we could not hear the arrhythmia in Amelia's heartbeat. Her heartbeat sounds perfectly fine. Now, he said that with these type of arrhythmias, sometimes they can come and go before they fully resolve themselves. But I have a fetal Doppler and I've listened a few times at home too, and I haven't heard it either. So that's like the last 4 times that her heart, that I've listened at home, and then, so I've listened at home 3 times and they listened at the doctor's office once. And all 4 of those times I've not heard the arrhythmia. So I'm really, really hoping that it's totally, totally gone. We still have to, of course, cross the hurdle of figuring out what's going on with the dilated ventricles in her lower brain. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back a couple pregnancy vlogs and see where we had an ultrasound done and they found a couple of little odd things on baby B, on Amelia. So we still have another ultrasound. I think it's in the first 2 weeks of July, to check on that part of her brain and her heart again and everything. I do feel a lot better knowing that we have not heard the arrhythmia in the last few times that we've listened to her heart. Yeah, I mean, other than that, the appointment went well. They are pretty boring at this point. It is just like pee in a cup if you can. Which, by the way, the pee in a cup thing is getting exponentially harder because it's hard for me to reach around my belly to get my hand like down where the pee stream is. I mean, I was telling my husband the other day, I was like, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Like, I don't know how to get the pee in the cup without peeing all over my hand, because when you're pregnant, the lady bits are a little swollen. For most, I mean, for like, especially like later on in pregnancy, when the babies weigh a lot and there's a lot of pressure down there, like your lady bits are kind of swollen. So the pee doesn't just come out like just like one regular stream. if you've ever had a baby, you know what I'm talking about, but it's just kind of like messy trying to pee into that cup. And especially with like my belly being as big as it is now and having to like try to get my arm down, and I don't know. It's just a mess. I literally dread having to pee in that cup. Thank goodness they only need just a little bit, because that's all I can ever get in there. It's just like a little bit, because I'm like chasing it around. And getting comfortable is very, very difficult. Right now I'm sitting on a huge fluffy pillow, sitting like crisscross, you know, trying to make room for the babies, because like my belly dips so low that I can't just sit down. Like my belly touches the top of my legs when I sit down. I have to like sit with my legs spread open so my belly can drop down in between them. It's very attractive. And I can only sit in certain positions for so long. Like I can only be in the car for a few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes before I start getting a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions, just from the way that it like compresses my belly, I think is what's causing that. So I'm very often moving around, you know, laying down on my side, laying down on the other side, sitting up, getting up, walking around, like constantly having to kind of change positions in order to stay comfortable. The girls feel really big in there. Like, I mean, I realize they still have a lot of growing to do, but they feel really big in there. So it should be interesting to see what ends up, how big my belly ends up being. Up till now, I haven't really experienced a lot of pain in my pubic bone, but that has started this week, where like the pressure and stuff is causing some pain in my pubic bone. So that's kind of a new symptom. And I'm sorry if the symptoms sound like I'm complaining. I'm really not. I'm just like giving it to you straight. Like these are the symptoms. These are the things. Maybe other people's pregnancy comes with amazing symptoms that feel great, but most people's don't. And especially if you're pregnant with twins, then the symptoms are kind of sucky, you know, just not fun things. But nevertheless, I feel in really good spirits, which is good. If you've followed me throughout this pregnancy journey, you know that I have gone up and down. My emotions have been kind of all over the place. It's been a very difficult pregnancy, and I've had bouts of depression and other things. I'm feeling in pretty good spirits. I'm very excited for them to be here. But it's taking a toll on my body, and that's been hard. It's just the, not being able to physically do things for yourself or other people. It's like I was telling my husband recently, like it's a feeling of vulnerability where you feel like you can't, you can't take care of yourself. You can't protect yourself. You can't protect your kids. If you are pregnant, if you've been pregnant and you have another child, maybe you can relate to that feeling a little bit, but it's just that feeling of like, if something happens, I'm useless. I can't do anything. I can't help my kids. I can't save my kids. I can't run to get, like it's a very vulnerable feeling that like, I can't do anything, like I said, to protect myself, or to help myself if something happens. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than like, just mentally kind of, just a very vulnerable place to be in, to be this pregnant and to have to rely so heavily on other people for so many things, and to not be able to do the things you're used to being able to do. That's mentally challenging, as well as the physical challenges. I'm gonna back up and show you guys my belly really quick. But yeah, this is my 31-week belly with twins in the front. Sorry, my lighting's going out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I will have another update for you next week. I have another doctor's appointment. They're gonna do a growth scan on the girls, and we're gonna see how big they are, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.